Hey there, YouTubers, viewers, subscribers, and non-subscribers. RoseRed17 here, and welcome to my channel. This is the review video of Rave Master Volume 6, Chapters 40 to 47. Ellie and Seahart finally came face to face with each other, and Ellie demands Seahart to tell her about her past since he is the only person that she remembers. Seahart introduced himself as the Guardian of Time, and that he is on a mission to stop the corruption of time itself. And the danger is the Etherion, which is the power that only Rachel Valentine can use. After her death, there were secret experiments in factories that tried to recreate Etherion, and so Seahart went on a mission to destroy all the factories, and that is when he found Ellie. He told her that she's a human test subject known as number 3173, but Ellie doesn't want to believe it and goes screaming her name that she is Ellie. But then Seahart revealed her name on her arm and have her look at it upside down, showing the number instead of the name. But Ellie still refused to believe that and rather believe that she is human and not a human test subject, and begged Seahart to tell her the truth. Meanwhile, Musica and Haru started their search for Ellie as they run into one of Musica's guys and told him that he saw Ellie with another man, and then he showed him the picture of that man. Haru will suddenly have all these memory flashes of Ellie chasing after him, and suddenly gets a strange feeling that he needs to go after her, and that's exactly what he does. Meanwhile, Seahart starts to feel pity for her and believes that she could live a normal life if it wasn't for Etherion, and to take away her pain, he tries to take away her life. Believed that he has killed her, Seahart felt satisfied with his mission. However, Ellie is still alive to his shock as she asked him what the Etherion is, and learned that it is the power of creation and destruction. He also told her that 50 years ago, Raisha used the Etherion to create the Rave Stones. So now we get a little origin story about how the Rave Stones were created, and we can probably guess why. Anyway, Seahart explains to Ellie about the Etherion and why he must destroy it. He must kill Ellie in order to do so, but Ellie wouldn't die no matter what he does to her. He electrocuted her, beat her, poisoned her, and yet she was still alive. Ellie was begging him to stop the pain as she fell to the ground and started to have flashbacks of her young childhood life, and realized that she indeed had a family. Her vision faded into white and saw Haru as she kept thinking about him and wants to see him before she dies. Seahart used one more attack on Ellie, but then suddenly out of nowhere, Haru managed to stop his attack to save her as he stared at Seahart with hatred in his eyes. But before Haru deals with Seahart, he has a heart-to-heart conversation with Ellie before she quote-unquote dies. I know this is a touching moment, but in all honesty, I'm getting tired of these fake out death scenes. And that is what this is, a fake out scene made by the creator. I know Ellie's not going to die considering that she's one of the most important characters in the story. And after reading Mashima's other mangas, it is a fact that most of the main characters don't die unless it's in some part of the universe. Here, it's not going to be any different. I know this is supposed to be a heartwarming, touching scene, but it's just not bringing me to tears. Now, there's going to be a scene later on in the series that becomes a tearjerker for me, and that one made me cry. So the conversation between Haru and Ellie goes on. She tells him that she shouldn't be alive, but he tells her that she should be alive and that she is Ellie, and that he loves her for who she is. Okay, at the time, I'm not sure if this love confession is romantic or platonic. It was too early to tell. Ellie is soon to be dead, as Haru is having a hard time believing that, as Seahart begins to walk away, but Haru stops him and his anger got the better of him and willing to kill Seahart for taking Ellie's life. Seahart does not wish to fight him, nor he wants the Rave Stones, but then suddenly he felt that Ellie is still alive, and realized that the Rave Master and the Etherion are connected, and he must kill them both as he now sees Haru as a threat. Now we see Plu and Musica looking for Haru after running off, and they end up bumping into the old fortune teller. She tells him that the battle for Ellie's life has begun, and that the person that Haru is facing is too powerful, and doesn't have a chance, and the future is not going to change. change. But Musica told her that he doesn't care about the future. All he cares about is what's happening right now. This is something I would agree on. I mean, we don't know what will happen in the future, but we do know what happens in the present. And I stand by Musica's words. Not only that, but he's also not worried about Haru, since he sees him as somebody who would change the future. Meanwhile, back with Haru and his fight with Seaheart, he barely laid a scratch on the guy as Haru seems to be struggling. He tried every technique he knows, but to no avail, until he released his will to protect Ellie. This gave him the ability to cut through Seaheart's magic, as he remembers what they said to him back in the chamber where he obtained the Rave of Knowledge. Haru's knowledge gains him the power of the ceiling known as Ruined Save, and then the fortune teller sees a new future that shows Haru killing Ellie instead of saving her, which leaves Musica in a shock of disbelief. Yeah, I find that hard to believe. I know it may look like that, but it's not what you think. He sealed away Aetherion within her with the sealing technique Ruin Save. I didn't need to read this part of the manga to figure that out because I remember the scene from the anime. Of course, I will continue to talk about what happens in the manga because that's what this video is all about. So let us go back to where we started, with Haru figuring out a way to outbest Seaheart and manage to get a hit on him. The fight continues on as Seaheart explains to Haru about Ellie's origin and that she is a test subject for Aetherion, but Haru doesn't seem to care as he keeps swinging at him, but then stops as Seaheart asks him a question. If you sacrifice an entire world to save a single person, Haru's reply was this: peace can always come through by killing someone that I don't want it. Haru? I know you mean well, but I really don't think that was an appropriate answer. Now, don't get me wrong, I understand what he means. Killing people is bad, but you're really going to sacrifice the entire world just to save one person? Remember during that time in Fairy Tail where Lucy had to sacrifice Aquarius' key to summon the Celestial Spirit King in order to break the curse that was placed upon her guildmates? Lucy was willing to let people die just so she can keep her golden key. I know it's a heartwarming and sad moment, but if you actually stop and think about it, it is kind of selfish of her. Here it's almost the same with Haru. I know Ellie means a lot to him, but still, really? Really, Haru? Anyway, Seaheart did not like his response and ends up trapping him inside a spell called a Tirith, which is in a pit of darkness. Meanwhile, Musica and the others are running towards Haru and we see Ellie barely awake and that she needs to help Haru. Within the Black Sparrow darkness, Haru starts hallucinating of his dead mother putting herself on fire, his sister cutting her own hand, and Grandma punching his own chest to give him his heart and liver, which is causing Haru to freak out. Meanwhile, outside the spell, Reina, who has been watching from a distance, explains to the audience what that spell actually does. It causes hallucination and drives people crazy to their death. But then, she ends up stabbing Seaheart in the back, calling him a traitor. Reina was about to finish him off until she got caught by Musica, who puts a knife in her neck and he demands her to tell him where Haru and Ellie are. And it turns out that Ellie is also in the Black Voyage along with Haru. That freaked out Seaheart and told him that the two can't be too close to each other, otherwise the Aetherion will be awakened by the Rave. Ellie finds Haru in an unconscious state as she tries to wake him up, and at first it was to no avail. But once her tears hit the Rave on the sword, he managed to wake up and feel so relaxed with her. The Ray Stone on his sword started to brighten up, which awakens the power to release Haru from the Dark Voyage, and that power is the Aetherion. Now Aetherion has awakened and everything around it starts to crumble. No one will be able to get near it to stop it, and because of what's happening right now, Haru has to make a difficult choice. It's either Ellie or the world. Haru starts to approach Ellie's floating body, raising his sword and thrusting it into her, which causes the Aetherion to disappear, but Ellie remains alive. Yeah, it may look like he killed the girl, but he actually just sealed her powers away with the Ruined Save, which is the sword that won't cut through physical objects. And with that, Haru made the right choice. And I know I said this earlier, but I thought I'd give you a fresh recap. Now in the next chapter, we see the three on the beach as Ellie is relieved to be alive alive and remembers the promise that Haru gave her. We really don't know what he said to her, but whatever he said gave her the confidence to live again. Now Ellie is happy with the promise that Haru made to her. Next, we get a flashback of what happened after Haru sealed away Aetherion. We see Seaheart fall to the ground and Reina wanted to take on Haru, but then a dragon shows up and ordered Reina back to King, leaving Seaheart behind with Haru and the others as he tells them about the Irration 6 and that Shuda was one of them. He warned them about the other members and later told them about the location of the next rave, which was known throughout the city that there will be a rave within the Luca continent. Seaheart takes his leave and realizes that maybe the rave and Aetherion are fated to be together. Later, there seemed to be a party on the beach with fireworks, dancing, food, and all the fun that the people are enjoying. While having fun, Ellie starts to think about the Aetherion and Raisha, but she still didn't understand. But as long as she can travel with her friends, she might be able to find her past. And as for Haru, he's thinking about moving forward for Ellie's sake, and then later joins the party. Later on, we see Reina and the dragon guy meet up with another member of the crew known as Beryl, and we see the backside of who should be the antagonist, King, at the end of the volume. Well then everyone, thank you so much for watching, and if you are new here, you can subscribe to this channel, and you can also hit that notification button for more updates on my newest videos. And don't forget, you can check me out on Twitter, TikTok, and Discord, and I'll see you all in the next video. RoseRed17 out.